It's November the 25th at 9:45. Let's see what the charts are telling us today. We've been looking at the cable and we're noticing this little retracement here that's happening. Now, we'd like to know how far that retracement is going to go and whether it's going to actually just drop down here. One of the things that the Absolute Fibonacci Framework is showing me is that it's actually going to go a little bit further in the upward direction. And it's probably going to go to around this line here, which is around about the 5229. But if we want to be a bit more specific, we can go back to the weekend and find out exactly where it's going to go in the next maybe day or two. I'm not sure about the actual timing, but this information here, just after the weekend, that tells me that it's going to go to 5244 or 5223. Now, the major barrier on the 1000, as we have seen, is 5229. So, just concentrating on the 236 for this exercise, it looks as if it'll pretty well definitely get to that one, 5223, and it may pop up to 5244. That's one certain move. Now, there may be others after it, obviously, and it may carry on up, or it may just suddenly die down. But that's one thing we know. And with the Absolute Fibonacci Framework, what we want to do is trade what we know. So let's see what happens over the next day or so, and see how that gets borne out. Okay, so it's a bit later in the day. We have seen a bit of a dip here on the 236. Remember that this is a fluid movement. It's not a good idea just to jump into a trade because somebody says that it's going to go somewhere. You have to be sure about the situation. Now, on the way into that dip, there were other opportunities you could have taken. For instance, there was a nice setup here to go down through this 90 set, and then it bounced. Now it's really started motoring on an upward journey. And as I always say, it's very important to keep an eye on all the charts. And we can see here that this wasn't a very clean dip on the 236, so there's a clue that something else is going on here. So if we look at the 382, you can see that actually it seems to be establishing itself on the 382 very, very nicely, which is good news for us because it means that it's going to go further up when it goes on its travel upwards. At the moment, it looks as if it's starting to work on purple to purple sets, so the target will be 1.5358. Well, that was quite quick, wasn't it? For me, this is the time to get out of the trade. I think we've done pretty nicely there. I don't know if it's going to carry on, and because I don't know, I get out. So, very nice trade. We've hit the line on the 382. You'll also see that there's a edge of a set on the 56 and also on the 146. So we've hit a pretty strong barrier here, and it's also up near here on the 1000 as well, near that line, the second one in the set there. So quite a successful move that. Seems to be flattening out a little bit. I don't know, it may carry on up a bit, it may do another little hit at the line, but we shall see. But to me, a good time to get out of the trade, and we'll see what happens after this. Well, after that wonderful move, it's now a little bit later, and we can see that it went up to the 56, and it decided to just finish that 56 set right to the top there, and then stop moving. This very often happens because we know that as a currency slows down, it moves on to smaller fractals. So 56 being the smallest that we actually look at, it's now just decided to do the 56 and now it's tailing off. So very nice move for the day. As I say, my line was this one here, which is this one here. I don't mind those extra few pips that we lost. And it seems to be really flattening out. So time to finish, go and do something else. Okay, bye for now.